Greetings to the Sixth Seal News Talk. Well, the Chinese are at it again. You know, you see right next there, there's a title saying Chinese blueprint trap to take over countries. I made that video about more than a week ago, I believe. I made that video. I posted it. Didn't get a lot of attention. I've trying to tell people this is an important video because it's the blueprint on how China's operating, taking over countries. This happened last year, December. So this only happened about a month ago, right here. This story right here, Guyana, Brazil. Okay, given by the Chinese. The Chinese gave Guyana and Brazil $50 billion, $50 billion to build a road. And when I made this video, I know what the Chinese plan is and I know what they've been doing in Africa, but I wasn't aware of this story. And if you look at my video and you look at this story, you know exactly what the Chinese are doing with Guyana and Brazil. Guyana is right now accepting a Trojan horse from China. So is Brazil, but mostly Guyana. Guyana is in South America, right next to Brazil. They are, you could say, on the northeast side of South America. If you go all the way down to South America, the northern side of South America, northeast side of South America, that's where you find Guyana. Guyana is possibly it's right up there, one of the poorest countries in South America. Can you imagine what can you buy in Guyana for $50 billion? Can you imagine the amount of officials you can pay off for $50 billion? You people, to understand what I'm talking about here about Guyana, you have to see the blueprint, okay, trap, okay, designed by China. You have to see it. So you get an understanding what is going on here. This is China. This is China involved in here, okay, trying to take over the government in Guyana. They might not take over the government in Brazil. Brazil is there for some reason that the Chinese want. But the main target there is going to be Guyana. Last year, the PLA gave military equipment to Guyana. Why? They gave it. They didn't sell it. They just donated the equipment to Guyana. And they've been donating thousands of millions of dollars, maybe probably into the millions already, of equipment to Guyana. Why? Why are the Chinese so interested in Guyana all suddenly? And here's the thing. From what I'm looking at, the Chinese, from the time that Donald Trump took office, the Chinese have stepped it up in the corruption plan around the world, and they have stepped it up in South America. The Chinese want to build a huge base in South America, and they already got a lot of people on the plate. If you follow my trap, if you follow the blueprint trap, okay, that I made the video, if you look at the way I explained to you, you understand it. They right now I have in South America and Central America, many companies, many countries, they're in a stage what would be like a stage 3, stage 4. Stage 6 is when they built their base, okay? Right now, Guyana is entering what is called the Trojan stage, okay? They're entering the Trojan horse stage. The Guyana government are going to trip over one another, running to see who get the contractors who's going to build the road from their country, because the Chinese will come in and subcontract everything. But it's a setup. It's a Trojan horse to set up to capture the country and corruption schemes. And they will get all the data on the officials involved in the corruption scheme and then blackmail them like they did in Sri Lanka to the people in Sri Lanka, and they have been doing it in Myanmar, and they've also been doing it in Nepal, and they're doing it to other countries. This is amazing. This is amazing. I ran into this story because I was about to make another story on Chinese corruption involved with an organization they're involved. That news came out today that this Asian negotiation organization, okay, agree with China with the problems of the South China Seas to kind of go with the, go along with the Chinese. And then after I investigated, I found out that the Chinese gave the Sherman, the head of the chair, the head of the committee, I think believe it was like 11 or 23 million dollars. All right, as to build or to do something in his country. That's why they got the good news from that organization, and China has bought off that entire organization. Even though they don't belong to that organization, China has bought off that Asian Pacific organization. They have bought it off. I'll see if I make a video still about that. Here is a perfect example, people, of China's corruption, China's world domination, for those who have doubt on what I'm saying. And for those who think, no, what's going on is not real, this is just a fantasy. No, this is a real fact. $50 billion in a country that barely has enough money to buy a box of condoms. Most people in that country can't buy nothing. They're poor. It's super poor. Can you imagine what can you do with $50 billion in a country like Ghana? Even if Ghana only gets $25 billion, that's a massive amount of corruption money to build a road. A road. That you have to, people, you have to understand that story, you have to see the blueprint trap that I made, Chinese blueprint trap. And then you understand what they're doing in South America, exactly what they're doing. This is what I got to say, people. Until the next time, please subscribe. And we keep an eye on the Chinese. Like I say, they have ramped it up since Donald Trump took over. Now they are a mass production corruption. You could say it's almost like they have a factory of corruption now going on. They're spreading corruption like roaches running from a fire. Okay, when Donald Trump took over the administration in the U.S., now it's corruption to the max. They are going to put a base in Central America or in South America, and they're going to move their ICBMs to that base. In those bases, they're going to mass them with weapons aimed at the United States. And if the United States don't get their freaking act together and starts to really to handle the Chinese problem, we're going to all get you know what. And everybody else. People, wake up. Wake up. I wish I belonged to the U.S. in some kind of foreign government or something. Somebody needs to wake up. Somebody's really dropping the ball in the U.S. or they intentionally are allowing the Chinese to go ahead and do what they want. We could have built that road. The United States could have built that road for the people in Ghana and Brazil and tie that road together. We could have been involved in that project and made it for a lot less. That money, most of that money, 80% of that money is to pay for corruption. That road don't cost $50 billion. That's just corruption money. Anyway, people, this time I go. All right, so you all have a great day. Until the next time, subscribe. And, well, I'll bring up more of this stuff, and I'm going to show you how China is non-stop corruption. All right, see you all later. Have a blessed one. Bye-bye.